From the old days of kings and emperors to the modern world, students always had big exams that could decide their future. Long ago there was the imperial exam, and now there is the college entrance exam that almost every student fears and respects. Because of this, a special program was created to show people what high school life is really like. The show invited 3 different schools from different cities, each with its own style and environment. The goal was simple, to show the real life of students, how they study, how the principals think, and how good the teaching really is. It was the first day of school, the time when everything begins. Cameras turned on, and everyone waited to see the principals give their opening speeches. The host smiled and pointed to the big screen, introducing the first school, Hanga Middle School, the one everyone was most excited about. The scene changed, and from above, the school looked perfectly organized. Students stood in straight lines on the playground, not moving at all. Their uniforms were clean and identical, like everyone was part of the same system. Even their hairstyles looked the same, as if copied from one person to another. What felt even more surprising was that even in their free time, many students were quietly reading books under the soft morning light. No noise, no distractions, just pure focus. Then the principal began to speak. He proudly talked about the school's results from last year. Almost all students got into top universities. Hundreds even made it into the most famous ones. His words were filled with pride, and everything he said focused on scores, rankings, and success. Back in the studio, some experts were watching closely. One of them, a well-known professor with many years of experience, nodded with a smile. She explained that this strict way of teaching, often called the Henghe model, was actually very effective for most students. The high success rate proved it. But not everyone agreed. Some people watching felt impressed, saying this was the best system for exam success. But others felt uncomfortable. To them, the students looked too controlled, almost like they had no freedom. Some even joked that the students looked like they didn't dare to blink. Deep down, many people felt something was not right, but they also knew how important these exams were. It left them feeling a little helpless. Soon, the host moved on to the next school, Kishin Experimental Middle School. Unlike the first one, this school was in a small city and had seen better days. It used to be a top school, but over time things had changed, and it was no longer as strong as before. And just like that, a new story was about to begin. From the same view in the sky, the next school looked completely different. The playground was not neat at all. Students were scattered everywhere, standing in small groups. There was no proper uniform, and many students didn't even have natural black hair anymore. Some had yellowish hair, not because they wanted style, but because of poor health and nutrition. But something strange could be seen. As students moved to higher classes, their appearance slowly changed. The first-year students looked messy and careless. By second year, many started looking better. And by third year, most students finally looked more normal, with black hair and a cleaner appearance. It was like the school slowly shaped them over time. Then the principal began his speech. He calmly said that their school believed in educating people first, then teaching. His goal was not just to send a few students to big universities, but to help every student become useful in society, no matter their path. Back in the studio, another expert shared his thoughts. He said every school is different, and he strongly agreed with this idea. He explained that schools in small cities face many real problems: fewer resources, weaker students, and under these conditions this kind of thinking is actually very important. But the audience had mixed reactions again. Some people didn't take it seriously. They joked that this kind of school only focuses on keeping students under control. Others said students here would never reach top universities. A few even made dark jokes, saying at least students here won't be pushed so hard that they break. At the same time, some viewers noticed something else. Compared to the strict and stressful environment of the first school, this place felt more relaxed. But others argued that even if study pressure is low, other kinds of pressure between students can still be strong. Behind all these comments, there was a quiet truth. Schools in small cities often struggle because they simply don't have enough good teachers and resources. Then, the host moved to the final school, Laofang Middle School, a county-level school in a small town. The camera once again showed the campus from above. This time, the atmosphere felt different. Under the flag, the principal stood straight and serious. His voice was loud and strict as he spoke to the new students. On your very first day here, he said you must understand 3 questions. Who are you? Where are you? And what are you here for? The moment he said this, the viewers watching online couldn't stop reacting. Some laughed at the school uniform, saying it looked more like a prison outfit. Others joked that the speech sounded like something you'd hear in a jail. A few even noticed things like watchtowers and started wondering if this was really a school or something else. To many people, it felt strange, but also a little funny. As the camera moved closer, the principal looked over the crowd with a sharp gaze. The new students looked confused, not understanding what was happening. The teachers nearby also seemed unsure, exchanging looks with each other. Even the cameraman looked slightly uncomfortable, as if he didn't expect this kind of scene. And just like that, this school gave everyone a completely different feeling, one that no one could easily explain. Guan Daosi showed a small, confident smile, but no one around him knew the truth. The person standing here right now was not the original owner of this body. About 1 month ago, something strange happened. The real owner of this body, a young man, had lived a very hard life. After his father died from illness, he was left alone with a broken, almost abandoned school. To complete his father's final wish, he worked day and night for an entire year. He searched for students, tried to hire teachers, and even fix the school buildings with his own hands. But his body couldn't take it. Just 1 month before the school was about to open, he collapsed from exhaustion and died. And at that exact moment, Guan Daosi arrived, a completely different person. In his previous life, Guan Daosi was a true legend in the world of education. He created powerful learning methods, combined technology with teaching, and even guessed exam questions correctly many times. His books were used all across the country and he could speak multiple languages with ease. People used to say, there was nothing he couldn't do. The school he managed before was famous for sending students to the top universities again and again. Students respected him deeply and even gave him a scary nickname, the Yanwang Principal. But even though he was strict, his students didn't hate him. Instead, they trusted him, followed him, and many even became close to him like friends. He lived a full life with no regrets and passed away peacefully in old age. And now, he was here again, standing in a broken, forgotten school. Guan Daosi picked up the list of new students and quietly looked through it. His heart felt heavy. These children came from poor families. They had studied in weak schools with very little support. Their basics were not strong, and many of them had already been left behind. But to Guan Daosi, this was not a problem. This was an opportunity. He felt like fate had brought him here. A place like this, with students like these, this was exactly where he could show his true ability. He could change their lives. He could guide them to a better future. Just as he was thinking about all this, something strange suddenly happened. A glowing screen appeared right in front of his eyes. Ding! Warden, welcome back to your prison. Guan Daosi froze. Warden? Prison? He had expected something unusual after coming to this world. Maybe some kind of special power. But this system, it was completely unexpected. It was treating his school like a prison. Very quickly, a long list of tasks appeared. Make prison uniforms, build watchtowers, recruit prison guards, also known as teachers, and many more. Each task, once completed, would give him money as a reward. The money would go directly into the school's account. For a poor, struggling school like this, it was like a gift from heaven. But still, something felt wrong. He had been a respected educator, loved by countless students, and now he was supposed to treat them like prisoners. For a moment, he felt conflicted, but then he smiled again. Because Guan Daosi was not a normal principal. He was the Yanwang Principal, the man who could push students to their limits, make them suffer, make them cry, and in the end, make them thank him from the bottom of their hearts. And most importantly, his students always learned faster and performed better than everyone else. Guan Daosi couldn't help but feel excited. This situation was just too interesting. After spending some time understanding this new world, he realized something shocking. The way people taught students here was far too outdated. Methods like strict control, endless memorizing, and so-called perfect systems were everywhere. To him, it all felt wrong. He thought, this isn't education, this is just blindly forcing students to study. But now everything was different. He had the strange prison system in his hands, and on top of that, the whole country was watching through the live show. A small smile appeared on his face. If that's the case, then I'll show everyone something completely new. He wanted to prove that even a prison-style school could be better than all those so-called top schools with their old thinking. He was confident. Even with all these strange rules, he believed he could turn this small, broken county school into one of the best schools, not just in the country, but maybe even in the world. He wanted to bring back the same glory he once created in his past life. Over the past month, he had already completed many tasks given by the system. The uniforms were ready, watchtowers had been built, teachers had been hired, like guards in this strange setup. Because of this, the school had earned a good amount of money. After all the spending, they still had more than 800,000 yuan left. But for Guan Daosi, it was still not enough. The classrooms were old and damaged. The dormitories were in poor condition. There were no proper labs. Even the playground needed to be rebuilt. The whole school looked like it was waiting for a complete rebirth. At the same time, a new idea slowly formed in his mind. He began mixing his own powerful teaching style with this unusual prison system. Step by step, a completely new kind of education was being created. And now, he was about to take the next step, the very first move in his plan. The inmate induction speech.